Hi, and welcome to my podcast. This is going to be the very beginning. I will be launching this officially on Halloween, which is poetic for me. It's my favorite. It has always been my favorite. It wasn't exactly planned to do it that way, but it is working out to go in that direction. So I love that. This podcast is basically going to be kind of all over the place because I would get bored with the same topic. So I will be covering some stuff by myself, but I will also have some guests on as well. And I currently have that open. So if you want to potentially come on the podcast, you can go to my website, vikingwitch.shop, and there is a contact form there that you can fill out and just put your public social media on there, preferably TikTok or something where I can see you on video. That way I can actually see you and it's not a completely closed off account. That way I know that you're a real person. And you can also add what topics you would like to discuss on the podcast. And you don't have to be promoting anything in order to do this. I have been absolutely loving it so far. It has been a lot of fun. I don't know how many guests I'm going to end up having. People's schedules fluctuate. Adults are adulting, so it's hard to get everyone to be able to coordinate schedules and all the different time zones. And sometimes things just come up. I also have been trying to figure out technology, so try to be patient with me on that part. I am not tech savvy at all. I'm trying to figure this out pretty much as I go. So there will be things that will hopefully be kind of upgrading along the way, but so far I think that I'm gonna like this setup and just know that the captions that I put on, I am not generating them. It is automatically generated. So if anything is in error, I apologize for that. I don't know how to edit it. I don't know if I can edit that, but hopefully it at least gets most things correct. But yeah, anyway, I am also open to topics of discussion. So any questions that you have or anything that you would like to discuss in particular, you can definitely send that my way. You can ask me in the comments below. You can ask me through the contact form on my website. Again, vikingwitch.shop. I will link it below as well. Or you can email me, but the best way is through those methods, at least for now. Anyway, as you can see, this is not going to be a big production. This is not going to be highly edited. This is going to be professional. And I know that I have to be pretty mindful of censorship, which I am going to say right off the bat that I don't agree with, but unfortunately, that's just the way that it is. And I don't want things to get taken down. So I will try to be a little mindful with not cussing too much, for example. But anyway, this is still not meant for under the age of 18. This is supposed to be adult conversation. And I also will not be editing. If anything is edited, it is going to be extremely limited. So you will probably see some mistakes or pauses and things like that because I want to keep this as much of a natural flow of conversation as possible. I want things to be as natural as possible. And if it's me talking, I will say right now, if you have not seen me before, I have medical issues, and several years ago at this point, it really kicked off really hard. And one of the things that happened was I had a seizure during a severe anaphylactic reaction. And something happened with my brain at that point where now I kind of have trouble with my words sometimes. I will stumble over them. Um, And sometimes I'll have a little bit of issue with trying to think or remember certain words or things like that. I'm not saying absolute sure that's when it really happened, but that seems to be when everything started with those issues. So, the connection is there. But anyway, maybe I can explore a little bit into that further and kind of take you all along that journey. But anyway, I'll just make a full-on episode on things like that. This is supposed to mostly just be an introduction, but like I said, things are probably kind of going to be all over the place, but I'm also open to whatever topics you all want to talk about or questions, or you can send in some interesting, fun stories, or you can come on as a guest. And again, you don't have to be promoting anything in order to come on. You can be a stay-at-home mom and want to talk about the difficulties and amazing things about that. You can come on to talk about your own life story, and you can come on to talk about a book that you are promoting or a website that you're promoting. I want this to be a very supportive kind of community. This is not about me. This is about the message. This is about whatever topics end up being discussed, whether I am doing this with someone or by myself. This is all with the intention of it reaching the right people and it being helpful. I don't necessarily want to talk about politics, I will say that, but otherwise it is going to be very, very open. And if that ends up coming up organically, then we'll navigate it. We, as in me and the guest. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. Hopefully this is going to go well. It's a lot of fun so far, like I said, and I am really excited for my future guests. I did have one that was supposed to come on with me today, and we're gonna have to reschedule. Like I said, schedules, adults, it's a thing. Y'all know how it is. We have to change it up sometimes and reschedule, and life happens, and it's all right. We pivot. We just move along because part of adulting. It's part of being human. So, anyway, I am very much looking forward to having her on at some point, and all my guests that are lined up and all the future guests that I don't even know about yet. It's going to be amazing. My very first guest is one of my best friends, and I loved it. I had so much fun. My guests after her, I had never met them before. It was amazing. So much fun already. I really like having that super organic conversation. And so that's why I'm leaving it open, because if it's only people that I personally invite, like I did with my one of my besties, I did personally ask her to come on. But for others, I'm leaving it open because it's it's a lot of fun, and so many things come up that are unexpected, and we have these amazing topics, and it's leaving it way more open to different types of conversation. And it's also people that you're not really seeing all over all these podcasts, and so it feels more, I don't know, I guess natural. It feels more like you just kind of end up meeting someone in a coffee shop and having this really awesome conversation. That's more of the feeling of it, instead of it being very professionally clinical kind of studio setup. Even though, let me just clarify, I love podcasts. Obviously, that's why I'm doing one. Of course, we have an unlimited amount of podcasts out there. Everyone seems to have one, but I love it. I think it's great. I love that we can have so many different voices, and every topic imaginable seems to be out there, and it makes it a lot more fun that way. So whether it's super studio or really like mine, where we're just people like me are just throwing on the camera and the microphone and just going for it. Yeah, I am rambling at this point because it is early and I am not a morning person. But anyway, welcome and I hope you enjoy, and not all videos are going to be this rambly. Bye.